Hello art beaters, Becky here with a brand new video. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to finish seed bead projects. I'm going to show you how to use different clasps, what kind of clasps are available to you for finishing seed bead projects, as well as showing you how you can make your own clasps for a seed bead project. So let's dive right in. There are lots of different ways to finish your seed bead projects. You can finish them with more seed beads and get really creative. You can finish them with buttons. You can finish them with special findings and special clasps. So we're going to be taking a look at some of the many different ways you can finish your seed bead projects. Symbol findings make it really easy to finish seed bead projects and projects that maybe include some really unique seed bead shapes because they make components that work perfectly with those shapes. This piece here works with round seed beads perfectly. You can just stitch it right in with your seed beads and then use that finding to add a jump ring and clasp. And this one here is the perfect shape for using with shapes like the Miyuki Tila beads. They make all sorts of wonderful clasps, component links, endings, and even bead substitutes that you can use alongside your seed beads and special shapes. Cast similarly makes really cool stitch-in bead substitutes that you can add right into a weave. This little link here was added into square stitch, and it has a loop on the top for adding any kind of component. I used it to add a button as the closure for my bracelet here. I used another one on the other end to add a loop, and I even used one in the center to add my little leaf dangles. Cast makes all kinds of great components for finishing seed bead designs. This little post can be glued on top for a sort of bead cap look, and then you've got that nice loop to add a clasp. So definitely check out all of the components that Cast offers as well. Simple way of finishing your seed bead designs is simply to just stitch your clasp or finding of your choice right onto the end of your seed bead project. You can see here that the thread was just woven to the end of the seed bead project, and the clasp was just stitched directly onto it for a really easy but elegant look. Stitching on a button is another great way to finish your seed bead designs. This button was just added right onto the end of the project, but you can also stitch it on top if that makes the fit or the length better. And again, you just make a seed bead loop with the seed beads you already have on the other side to loop around the button. Same goes for this. This piece was finished with a tube clasp, and the loops on the tube clasp were simply stitched onto the ends of the bracelet. So that's another great thing. Usually when working with seed beads, you are stitching, so you have that thread to work with and attach to different components. You can also use bigger beads to make your own kind of button in the loop closure. These are really big crystal beads that have been added to the end of the bracelet, and then a seed beaded loop was made to fit around the bead on the other end. And the same was done here with a small bead, a small little round black crystal bead, and a small loop to wrap right around that bead as a fun little closure. Also make your own big bead by making a beaded bead out of the seed beads you're using in your project. So that's what was done here. Just looped the seed beads around to make a bigger beaded bead to fit into the loop on the other end. Easy. If you want to get even more creative with the seed beads that you're already using, you can also use them to make little beaded toggles, and that's a really neat design that's going to match your design perfectly because it uses the same seed beads. So we have tutorials for how to do this in our design studio, and I will link those in the video description. You can see the same thing was done here, just a little beaded toggle with a seed bead loop. Really nice finish to your seed bead projects. A great idea for finishing seed bead designs, especially for something like loom or peyote. If you have a unique little kind of slotted bar clasp or ring like this one, you can actually slide your stitched piece into the slot and then stitch it back onto itself for a really smooth looking finish. That's a really nice way to finish your seed bead designs. And then you can just add whatever kind of clasp you like there on the end. A tube end is another great way to finish seed bead designs. This tube opens up and you can fit the last row of your seed bead piece in there, and then these little flaps on the end can be folded down over for a really secure and polished finishing look. And they do often have loops on the end to add chain, jump rings, clasps, what have you. If you're making seed bead ropes, little end caps are nice. You can just simply glue these on over the ends of your seed bead rope, and again they have loops attached to the ends so you can add your clasp of choice. A good glue to use for something like this would be a 5-minute epoxy adhesive. It's a super strong glue. It's not going to fall apart, and it dries quickly, but you do have to make sure that it cures for 24 hours. For seed beads, especially if you want to stack your seed bead designs with other pieces you may have made, is the Helos clasp system. This is a magnetic clasp system, and they come in a variety of lengths, and then these little tubes that you can insert to make interchangeable jewelry. But the tubes work nicely on seed bead projects like this peyote stitch piece. So you can use these little tubes and stack them up in different ways within the clasp. So that's another great option for seed bead jewelry. Here's another unique finishing touch for seed bead jewelry, finishing it off with leather. This leather is just stitched around the whole of this loomed piece, and then the ends of the leather was looped to make these little closures that's used with the button that's stitched on the other piece here. So like I said earlier, you can stitch your seed beads to almost anything to create some really unique closures for your pieces. Hope these ideas were inspiring to you. Again, all of these are available in our design studio at artbeads.com with free instructions and a supplies list, so you can kind of learn all of these techniques for finishing your seed bead pieces there. And there we have so much more in our design studio as well, tons of inspiration. So feel free to explore and find even more ways to use seed beads in your jewelry designs. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope that this video was helpful and that you'll be better prepared to finish your seed bead projects. If you liked this video, please make sure to leave a like and a comment. Let me know if you have any questions or what you would like to see next. And as always, make sure to subscribe so you're the first to know when videos like this one come out. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!